It's time for our third video on lesson 3. This video is about substring. In the previous video we looked at the length method. We know length is a method because it has parentheses after it. So if in the future you see something like I don't know, just something called x followed by parentheses, you'll know x is a method. If you see get followed by parentheses, you'll know get is a method. If you see care at and something in a parentheses or not in a parentheses, like for, then you know care at is a method. They're all methods. Identifiers followed by parentheses. So we have Arcadia in a string called S1. Arcadia has, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 letters. Just reviewing quickly the length command here. Compile it and run it, and we should see 7 on the screen, and we do. Okay. Length wasn't too bad. Just count the number of characters. The hardest thing about length probably was if there's a space or punctuation. That might surprise you at first, but it's not too bad. Substring will cause us problems for a while, if not a whole year for some kids. I've got a chart here that shows the values, the characters or character values in Arcadia, the A and the R and the C, of course, and the A and the D and the I and another A. It's got 2 lowercase a's, 1 uppercase A, and an R, C, and D. That's all the characters in Arcadia. Now, these characters are at index positions. Index positions. The index positions of S1 start at 0, and the capital A is in 0, the R is in 1, the C is in 2, and so on, out to the last A is in position 6. So the numbering, very confusingly so at first for kids, starts at 0. So if I have a string called whatever, S6, and I say it's CAT, then the positions of S6 are not 1, 2, and 3, they're 0, 1, and 2. The C in cat is in 0 position, the A is in 1, and the T is in 2. The length of Arcadia, we saw already, is 7, right? The length is 7. There's 7 different characters there. No punctuation this time, just 7 characters, and the length is 7. But the positions start with 0 and go out to, well, what would that be? If the length is 7 and you start at 0, the last character is at position length minus 1. The quicker you learn that, the much easier things will be in the future for us when dealing with strings. Now again, this video is called a substring video. Let's get back to talking about substrings. And so if I do S1 dot substring 2, let's see, put 2 in the parentheses. S1 dot substring 2. Close my system out parentheses there. Almost didn't do that. Let's space it a little better for you. So S1 dot substring 2. So substring is a method. I know it is because it has parentheses following it. And so what this command does is takes the substring. A substring is a smaller part of a string usually. It can be the whole string too, but it's usually a smaller part of a string, starting at position 2. So position 2 is the C. So we should see on the screen CADIA. Let's make sure that works. Compile it and run it, and there it is, starting at position 2. If I want to start the substring at position 4, let's do a copy and paste here and put substring 4 there. Then what's in position 4 of Arcadia? The D, right? So it'll be DIA. DIA. Compile it Run it, and we see DIA. Let's see. If we do 1, it starts at 0. Capital A is in 0. The R is in 1, so we'll see RCA DIA. Okay. And if we started at position 0, kind of silly, but who knows? If we started at position 0, that would start from position 0, and it would just be exactly what the string is, Arcadia. Arcadia. There we go. So I think the book does something like, I think the book does this one here, Sparky the dog, for an example. Not sure what they call it, but if you put Sparky the dog, no, Sparky is a, I don't know. I think the book has Sparky the dog. I put Sparky is the dog. If I put that into a string, then the capital S in Sparky is at position 0. And Sparky goes out to position 5, followed by a space in position 6. Index position 6 is a space. Index position 9 is a space. Index 11 is a space. And if I put a period at the end, that's in 15. So those are all the index positions of the string. I think I have one more example on this paper here someplace. String S3 equals I went home. I is in position 0. The space is in 1. Went goes from 2 out to 5. There's a space, home, dot. This is pretty confusing, at least at first for most kids. It'll take some practice.